Alright, so this is Rolling Thunder 2. This is a game that was developed by Namco, originally in the arcades. Obviously it's a sequel to a previous game that was in the arcades. And this game came out in the arcades in, I believe, late 1990. And it came out to the Sega Genesis in late 1991. First impressions are really good on this game. For 1991, great looking game. Really good music. Gameplay kind of reminds me of Shinobi. They call it a run and gun in Wikipedia. I don't know if I'd call it a run and gun. There's not much running. You can't shoot while you're jumping. You can't shoot up. It's very basic, slow progressing. It's a lot about timing on your shooting. It's a lot about just ducking at the right time. And just like in Shinobi, you can jump up to the higher platforms by holding up while you jump, and you can jump down from the higher platforms to jump back down. And, you know, sometimes there's enemies up high that you gotta jump up to, like right here. And so, yeah, it plays a lot like Shinobi. It's basically the original Shinobi, but with, like, special agents with guns instead of ninjas. I don't have any nostalgia for this game. I never knew about this game during its time. I never played this game back in the day. I didn't even know that this game existed until sometime recently when I got this game. And I don't even remember how I got this game. This isn't a game that I went out of my way to pick up. I didn't, like, search for this game and then find it. I don't even remember picking this game up. I don't remember buying this game at all. I looked through my collection and I'm like, oh yeah, I have this game. I don't remember when I got it. I assume it was probably in like a boxed set. I probably bought a boxed set of a bunch of games off someone at one time, and this was in there. And then kind of forgot about it. And so this is basically the first time I played the game. Is for this review. So it's more of like a first play, I guess. At the bottom of the screen, you got like your HUD, and the letter I is your bullets. I guess it looks like a bullet. Is it just because it looks like a bullet? It just looks like a letter I to me. Small letter I. That's your bullets. So you have a limited amount of your regular bullets, and I did run out early on. When I first started playing the game, of course, I was just shooting like crazy. Shooting like just like a basically machine gun, rapid fire on the shoot button, and then of course I ran out of bullets pretty quick. When you run out of bullets, you actually can still shoot, but it's like really slow. Like you can shoot one shot every like 4 seconds, which becomes pretty difficult, especially when the enemies are jumping at you and you have to shoot at the exact moment, and you might not be able to shoot unless you've waited the 4 seconds. So you don't really want to run out of bullets. Below that is like a power up, and that's for your special weapons. Going in the doors that are marked. Going in the doors has several features. Basically, you can go into the doors to take cover if you needed to. You can hold up, and your character will stay in the door as long as you want until you let go of up. But some doors are labeled like bullets there, and some are for the special weapons, and those ones are also labeled. But there's also secrets in some of the doors, so sometimes going in a door that's not labeled will give you like an extra hit point. The blue little squares at the bottom below your score is like how many hits you can take. You can only take a couple of hits in this game, by the way. And so yeah, sometimes you'll get just random little bonuses for going in some of the doors. I really like the music in this level. I used it for the intro. Again, this game has really good music. I'm not sure who did the music. I should probably look that up, but it's a Namco game. They're usually alright for music, like Splatterhouse 2 and stuff like that has some pretty decent music. Yeah, it's decent music, and again, especially for, 91, it's an earlier Genesis game. Genesis came out in 89, but Super Nintendo came out in 91, so this is the game that would have came out right around the same time as the Super Nintendo, and as far as I'm concerned, it looks and sounds great. This game has a password system, and I really like the way they did the password system. The passwords are sentences, like phrases, and your password selection screen is just a bunch of words, and it's like 6 words to make a sentence. So it's easy to remember the passwords, and they're fairly quick to put in. So that's nice. You get a password every time you beat a level. And I'm not sure about how many continues you have. I'm not sure if you have infinite continues, but you do have a fair amount of continues. You'll continue on the level that you started. Sometimes the levels have multiple like checkpoints, or like the level slightly changes halfway through. I believe when you use a continue, you start all the way back at the beginning of the level. Game has, I think, 8 levels. A few more than the arcade version. So apparently when they ported this over, or I shouldn't say port, but brought it over to the Genesis, they changed a few things. I guess they added a few more levels. Supposedly, I think they added more boss fights. There's not a lot of boss fights in this game. I got to level 4 here, and we encountered one boss fight. But I don't know if the boss fights were added for the Genesis version. But anyways, that's it, guys. See you later. This game is definitely neat. I don't know if it's expensive or cheap or common or what. I don't think I've ever seen copies before. This one I randomly grabbed. But if you find a copy and it's cheap, I would say pick it up.